What's up, DJ Direct here. Welcome to part 2 of my Open Fader Scratch series tutorial, and today we're going to concentrate on the flare scratch. So the one-click flare, some people call it single-click flare. So I'll start by breaking it down and show you the base of the scratch. So if you get a scratch sample loaded, something simple continuous tone like R. So with your record hand, it's fairly straightforward to be honest, so you're just pushing forward and back like this. And the basis of the scratch is that you're chopping the sound into two on the forward and back motion with one click on the fader, start and open, and that's creating two sounds forward and two sounds back. Because you're starting with the fader open, you're basically effectively getting two sounds from one click, if that makes sense. So if I break it down for you, that will hopefully make a bit more sense to you. So start with record, start the sample, fade it in the open position. So breaking it down really simply, you're pushing the record forward to start with, closing the fader, continue to push and open the fader, pull the record back, close the fader, continue to pull back, open the fader. So let's do that again. So push the record forward, close the fader, continue to push, open the fader. So at the end of the forward motion, you're in the open position with the fader. So pull the record back, close the fader, continue to pull back, open the fader. So put that together, that will sound like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, close, open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So one thing that helped me when I first started to try and learn it is you want to use quite a large area of the sample to start with. So I'd say push and pull the record from say 12 to 3, like that. Just helps to give you the time to get the clicks right in terms of the record movement, and then obviously as you speed it up, you're going to be shortening the amount you move the record and getting the pace on the fader. So I watched a lot of scratch tutorials on the flare scratch. One that jumped out at me and helped me was the Beat Junkies D Styles, I think it was, flare scratch tutorial. I'll leave a link in the description below and you check that out. So yeah, like once you've got the main basis of it down, what you want to try and do is obviously take any delay you've got out of the forward and back motion and get a continuous 4 sound scratch. So like this. I'd say when you then start to increase the speed, it's very important your hand movement on the actual fader. So as you're open fader scratching, you're closing the fader with your thumb and then pushing it back open with your finger, like that. I use my index finger to pinch it back open. Other DJs use other fingers. I think D-Style uses the index finger. It doesn't really matter to be honest, it's whatever you're comfortable with, and you probably naturally fall into a particular finger and then you can just obviously work it up from there. But like I said, the actual movement and the pinching, so the pushing with the thumb, pinching with the finger, is quite important, because as you get faster, that is going to define how quickly you're going to be able to do the scratch. So like I said, once you've got the basis of it, I'd suggest concentrating on that actual movement on the fader, and that will help you as you increase the pace of it. So let's sort of speed this up a bit and show you sort of where the scratch goes. So start slow and then speed it up. So once you've got the basis down, obviously you can start dropping over a beat. So how I did it was I started with a really slow beat, like 70 BPM, got the scratch, so I got the flare tight on that, and then worked the BPM up, just kept increasing the BPM. So right the way up to like 130 BPM, and then once you've got it tight and can go continuous with it at that sort of speed, I went back down to a slower beat, like 70 BPM again, and then double time the scratch. And all I say is you want to start really slow and just get get the scratch tight at that speed, and then once it's good and clean, start increasing the BPM, and then you can just keep working out. If you go fast with the BPM and then it starts getting sloppy, you just take it back down, and you sort of reach where your limit is, and then get it tight at that point, and then you gradually increase the pace. There's nothing worse than trying to do it fast and not quite being there, and it will just sound messy and just won't be good. So start slow, work it up fast, then start double timing it, and then at some point you might even get into triple time as you get more comfortable with the scratch and more comfortable with the actual fader movement itself. So like I said, we drop a beat here. I've got like a beat on there, I think it's like 82 BPM, and I'll start slow with it and then speed it up, and then you can sort of see what it sounds like and where the scratch can go. So like I said, start slow. And take any gap you've got out between the forward and reverse. And you can start getting faster and double timing it. So there we have it, 1-click flare, single-click flare scratch. Next up will be the 2-click flare, which is obviously moving on from the 1-click. Hope some of you guys find this useful. As ever, like and subscribe, really helps me out, and hope to see you on the next one.